Hello everybody and welcome back to the Big Joey channel. Today I'm going to be starting a new series, and that is going to be the Madden 18 Ultimate Team Predictors. So I'm going to just be going over the predictors, and I'm going to be giving what I think is going to happen. So we're going to dive straight into that. Let's go. So for those of you who don't know, the predictors are essentially you're going to predict what happens, what you think will happen. You're going to have a set of predictions, and you can guess true or false on them. And the way to get this is going to be a solo challenge every Tuesday afternoonish. It'll update. All you have to do is you're going to play 2 games, and you get your 32 tokens. It's really simple. I don't know why that little thing's messing up down there. It's weird. There we go. Okay, so we're going to dive straight into this. So I'd already started them in one video and it messed up, so I already have these done, but I'm still going to give you my prediction for them. And I plan to drop these every Saturday morning-ish. The reason this one's coming out a little late is because I didn't have my laptop for a couple weeks, so I'm also 2 weeks late actually. But I'm going to be dropping this every Saturday at probably 10:30-ish, 11. So that way it gives you time to actually do the challenge if you waited all week. Also, this does not take into account Thursday Night Football. It doesn't count that. So let's go ahead and start it off with the Ravens at Jaguars. Ravens win at least against the Jaguars by at least 4 points. Definitely. That is true. Ravens have looked really solid these past couple of weeks, and the Jaguars fell back to earth hard last week against the Titans. Blake Bortles has not played well. Even in their one win, he played shaky. So look for the Ravens to win by at least 4 on that. Blake Bortles has at least 250 passing yards, and that is going to be a false, a big fat F. Blake Bortles has not thrown for over 250 yards at all this season, even in their blowout win against Houston. So don't expect them to do it again. Blake Bortles has played really bad. So I don't expect that to change, and false on the 250 yards. Next, Broncos win against the Bills by at least 3 points. Definitely. Broncos are coming off a really emphatic victory at Mile High, and they're looking to capitalize on that. Trevor Siemian has been playing lights out for a 7th rounder. He has played phenomenal this season. I know it's only been 2 games, but he showed the poise to lead that team, and the defense has stepped up big. Look for them to crush the Broncos. Next, Tyrod Taylor has at least 200 passing yards and at least 30 rushing yards. I do not expect Tyrod to put those kind of numbers up. This defense is great. We saw them without TJ Ward, Will Parks, Justin Simmons. Those guys are stepping up at the back. Darian's playing great. All their corners are playing great. Von Miller played great. These guys checked Ezekiel Elliott to 8 yards. So expect Tyrod Taylor to be under pressure all game. He's going to be looking to get hit, and I don't see him putting up 200 yards and 30 passing yards. False. Next, Saints at Panthers. Panthers win against the Saints by at least 6 points. Now, this is an interesting one. Panthers are going to this 2-0, and Saints are going to this 0-2, and I don't see the Saints coming out of here with a victory, especially on the road. They're coming off that bad loss against the Patriots, and the Panthers, to their credit, have struggled. They only put up 23 points the first week, and they put up 9 the next week. But I still see them coming in and winning by at least 6 points. That Saints defense is playing not the best, I would say. That's the nice way of putting it. On to the next. Saints at Panthers again. Jonathan Stewart has at least 1 touchdown. False. Jonathan Stewart has not scored this season. He's seen his snaps actually go down. He's getting less rushing attempts with Christian McCaffrey in the game. You still have Cam Newton, who's going to get his rushing yards. That's just the type of quarterback he is. He's going to look to run. He's going to take goal line snaps away. Christian McCaffrey is going to look to get more involved as the year goes on. You still have Curtis Samuel. You have all these guys, and Jonathan Stewart's kind of the odd man out, so false. Next, Steelers at Bears. Steelers win against the Bears by at least 8 points. Steelers are one of those teams that are looking really good. They hung up. They've moved to 2-0, and the Bears looked awful last week against the Bucs. I don't think Mike Glennon's offense is going to do much. I don't think that defense is going to be on the field a lot. Steelers definitely win by more than 8. True. Next on the list, Steelers at Browns. Antonio Brown has at least 100 receiving yards. Last week, Antonio Brown got checked by Xavier Rhodes, and Xavier Rhodes held him to under 40 yards. be looking for Antonio Brown to get some redemption. He's going to put up at least 100 plus. Definitely. I don't see a cornerback on the Bears team that could check Antonio Brown. Not like Xavier Rhodes. He put up 100 plus week 1. He got shut down, and he's going to be going out there for revenge. True. Next on the list, Falcons win against the Lions by at least 4 points. Falcons looked great in their win against Green Bay, and they've looked great. They're not looking like they've missed a step after that crusher in the Super Bowl, but they're playing really good. They have the weapons, and I do think they win by at least 4 points against the Lions. Lions are a good team, don't get me wrong. They're 2-0 to their credit, but these Falcons look really good. Look for them to win by at least 4. Next on the list, Devontae Freeman has at least 75 rushing yards and at least 1 touchdown. Last week, he put up 2 touchdowns and 75-plus rushing yards, and I think he does it again. The Lions, they have a good defense. It's not terrible, but I don't see Gerard, the middle linebacker rookie, being able to keep up with Devontae. They're going to be looking to incorporate him. I think that Falcons O-line is getting better as the year goes. I know they lost the offensive guard, Chris Chester, but they're going to be looking to bounce back. Next on the list, we got the Browns win against the Colts by at least 2. I do think the Browns win. These are 2 bad teams. I think the Browns have more upside. The Browns have been in some close games, and the Rams, they're still without Andrew Luck. So I got to give them the true. I think Browns do come out of Indy with a win. Browns at Colts, Gore. Frank Gore has at least 1 touchdown. I true this because Frank Gore has scored in the last 2 games. He's going to get his touches. Even in a loss, I still think the Colts are going to put up some points. But I do think Frank Gore gets at least 1 touchdown, whether it be a goal line touchdown or something of the sort. He gets at least 1 touchdown. Next, Vikings win against the Buccaneers. That is going to be a false. Vikings are again without starting quarterback Sam Bradford, and they looked terrible last week under Case Keenum against the Steelers. And Vikings, last week was their first game. You knocked the rust off. They beat the Bears, but they played a little rusty. They're going to come back this week. They got their first game under the way, and they come back, and I think they take this W. Next, Adam Thielen has at least 90 receiving yards. False. I don't think Adam Thielen, he put up, I think, 60, maybe a little bit less than 60, around there. But again, it's Case Keenum throwing the ball, and you got Brett Grimes and Vernon Hargreaves the third. These guys are playing really good defense. Look for Gerald McCoy to be, getting in the face of Keenum, making him make contested throws. I don't think Adam Thielen gets those 90 yards, especially just with how that offense is. They don't have the firepower with Case Keenum under the offense. Next, Texans at Patriots. Patriots win against the Texans by at least 13. As history foretells, the Patriots have been victorious against the Texans for the last couple years. They really laid the smack on the Saints last week. Granted, it was a really high-scoring game, but they still won by at least 13. And the Saints, to their credit, they have more stability on the offense than the Texans. But again, this is Bill Belichick against Bill O'Brien, and he has proven time and time again that he's just outsmarting them. And look for them to really emphasize on all the weaknesses the Texans have. True, Patriots by 13 at least. Brandon Cook has at least 1 touchdown. Again, another true. Brandon Cooks he's going to be a benefit from, Rex Burhead's out. You have Julian Edelman, still out. Philip Dorsett questionable. Danny Amendola questionable. Chris Hogan questionable. You have this whole plethora of players that are either hurt or questionable. And Philip Dorsett's questionable, but you have Brandon Cooks, and Texans are down a cornerback. They're down Kevin Johnson. I know they signed Jonathan Banks, but he's not that fast. He's not known for his speed. And Brandon Cooks is going to be looking to take the top off. They're going to be looking to capitalize on the Kareem Jackson matchup, Marcus Burnley, guys like that. So I definitely think he puts up 1 touchdown, at least. So that's going to be a true. Dolphins at Jets. Dolphins win against the Jets by at least 6 points. And again, this is the same thing as the Buccaneers. Last week was their first game, and to their credit, and they have a new quarterback. They missed a week, because of a hurricane, and they got the W. And I think they do go into New York, and they get the W against the Jets, definitely by 6 points. Jets have Josh McCown played decent in game 1, and then he had a meltdown last week with 2 interceptions. So I definitely think Dolphins put up a W and by more than 6 points. True. Next, Matt Forte has at least 1 touchdown. False. Dolphins checked Melvin Gordon for under 40 yards last week rushing. Melvin Gordon's a good running back. Matt Forte had 6 carries last game and no touchdown for 17 yards. He's getting slowly phased out of this offense, and that Dolphins front seven they're a good defense. They're not the best, but Cameron Wake and Ndamukong Suh, those guys are studs. That offensive line that Jets have is not going to hold up, and I don't see Matt Forte putting up a touchdown. False. Giants at Eagles. Eagles win against the Giants by at least 4 points. Now, this is another game. The Giants, they have a good defense. You know, they've spent $200 million on these guys, but the Eagles are just playing good. They had a tough game against the Chiefs last week, but Alex Smith has been playing really well. Eli's O-line has been getting him killed. I do see the Eagles coming out of this game winning by at least 4 points. True. Next, Zach Ertz has at least 95 receiving yards. Zach Ertz put up 97 last week. New York gave up 57 to Eric Ebron. Zach Ertz is the better player between them two. I think they do struggle against the tight end. There's going to be mismatches. You have Alshon Jeffrey. You have Nelson Aguilar killing the slot. You have Torrey Smith. So you have receivers. And so that's going to leave you with the mismatch. Can the linebackers cover Zach Ertz? I don't think so. I think Zach Ertz puts up at least 95. True. Seahawks at Titans. Titans win against the Seahawks by at least 3 points. False. I don't see Titans, you know, they had their win against the Jaguars, but the Jaguars aren't a good team, but they struggled week 1. You know, they gave up the loss to the Raiders, and the Raiders are looking great, by the way, but they gave up the loss to the Raiders, and the Seahawks are a good defensive team. They struggle. I don't think they come out of there with a win. I know it's going to be Seattle at the Titans, but I don't think they take the win at home because Seattle's, you know, they struggled a little bit last week against the 49ers, but the defense kept them in the game. Russell Wilson's ability to scramble kept them in the game, and I don't think it's going to be a Titans win. False. Seattle at Titans. Delaney Walker has at least 1 touchdown. Delaney Walker did not have a receiving touchdown last week, but he had the rushing touchdown, and he put up some good yards. I think he gets a touchdown. Delaney Walker, I believe, is the top receiver on that team. He's a really solid tight end, at least top 10, top 5, if anything, and he's Marcus Mariota's security blanket. He's going to get a touchdown. True. Now we got next, Bengals at Packers. Packers win against the Bengals by at least 9 points. Definitely, that is 100% true. Packers, you know, they gave up one against the Falcons, and that's a tough one. But they're going to bounce back. They're going to clobber the Bengals. Bengals have struggled immensely this year. They have not scored a touchdown, and you don't beat the Packers by not scoring touchdowns. You just can't. So they definitely, I don't see them pulling the victory. So Packers all the way. So really quick, I'm just going to trade in some of these tokens, get some trues because I forgot that I had that many trues. That should be enough. Next on the list, we have, I believe, Chiefs versus Chargers is next on the list. Actually, no. We have Ty Montgomery has 100-plus combined rushing and receiving yards, so yards from scrimmage. Last week, he did put up 100-plus, and that was against a solid Falcons team. Bengals, again, they're not that great. He definitely puts up 100-plus yards from scrimmage, or receiving plus rushing yards. Next on the list, we have Chargers and Chiefs. Chiefs win by at least 3 points? Definitely. Alex Smith is playing lights out this year, whether it be from the stress of Patrick Mahomes breathing down his back, but he's definitely going to lead that team again to another win, to a 3-0 start. Chargers, they've played some tough games. They've lost 2 games in a row thanks to kicking problems, but this is the best team they've played all season. You know, they played the Broncos. They had to come back. Their kicker kicked them out of the game, but these Chiefs are legit. Granted, they are without Eric Berry, but the Chargers just lost Jason Verrett. So be looking for Travis Kelce to put up some yards, fantasy people. But I do think the Chiefs take that win. Melvin Gordon, So Chiefs at Chargers. There we go. Melvin Gordon has 75 combined rushing and receiving yards. So Melvin Gordon, he's a good running back. And I'm going to have to false this because he got held down by the Dolphins. The Dolphins did a really good job of keeping the rushing attempts down. And I think these Chiefs, the way they play under Alex Smith, they're going to eat up clock. They're going to eat up the clock, and they're not going to give the Chargers a chance to get on the field as much as they would like to. And I think those linebackers are going to do a good job of keeping Melvin Gordon out of the rushing game. So next we have Raiders win against the Redskins by at least 3 points. Definitely true. Derek Carr coming off that broken leg, he's been playing really well. And Redskins haven't played so well, but I definitely see them putting up a W by at least 3 points against the Redskins. Be looking for Michael Crabtree to make a big difference that game. Marshawn Lynch has at least one touchdown. Definitely. Marshawn Lynch is going to get his touchdown. I mean, he had one last week as a big deal in Oakland, and be looking for him to get another one. It's Marshawn Lynch. So, definitely going to get it. Next on the list, Kirk Cousins has 275 passing yards. Kirk Cousins has not put up 250 yards this season, so I'm going to false that. I don't see it happening. He's gonna struggle. He hasn't put up the yards he's wanted to this season. He played more accurate last season. This is a better team than he played last week. And look for this pass rush to get in his face and make him make those tough throws. Cowboys at Cardinals. Cowboys won by at least 3 points. Cardinals struggled last week. They went into overtime with the Colts. Given that the Cowboys did struggle last week, they were caught off guard by those Broncos. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think they're going to come back. I don't know the resilience of the Cowboys that they could come back from a loss like that. They've never had to face it. They lost in the playoffs and they came back. They won week 1, but they got dropped hard week 2. But I can give them the benefit of the doubt. I do think they come back. Jason Witten has at least one touchdown. True. Jason Witten was targeted a lot last week, and there's no reason to say he isn't going to get targeted again. He's just the synergy between him and Dak is great. He's the safety blanket. He's getting his one touchdown. And Larry Fitzgerald has 6+ receptions. True. Again, that Cowboys secondary doesn't scare anybody. They're not going to scare anybody, and Fitzgerald's going to eat up whether he's playing on outside or the slot. He's going to get 6+ receptions. So that's going to be it for this predictors. Remember, if you don't know, it's just solo challenges. You're going to come over here and boom, predictors. Every Tuesday, you're going to get a new predictor, and you just do both of them. They're really easy. And that's going to be it for this video. As always, if you enjoy these videos, give me a like, leave a comment. Comment how many you got correct. We'll find out next Tuesday. You can comment on next Saturday's video, but tell me how many you got right. If you want more Madden videos, tell me in the comments. And if you like my videos, recommend to your friends, subscribe. And as always, this is Big Joey signing off. And